What's up, y'all? It's your girl Stefdotnet back with another video. I don't really even know what this video is going to be. I just sat down to do my hair and I figured just turn on the camera. Just record. You don't need no idea. You don't need a video theme or whatever. It is the night before we record our first episode of our podcast. If you are not aware, I am a part of a dope group that is starting a dope podcast. So I will link that below. I'll put it on the screen, the name of the YouTube channel, so you guys can subscribe and all of that good stuff. But aside from that, I need to look presentable on camera tomorrow. And I planned on doing a twist out at first. That was what my first mind was. But I fell asleep, took a nap, and now it's way too late to do a twist out. I cannot risk it that my hair will not be dry. I could sit under the dryer, but there's still a level of risk associated with that. My hair is freshly shampooed. I use the Chocolate Kinks and Curls. I'll have it up here, the Chocolate Kinks and Curls shampoo bar, and this is what my hair is looking like. It was drying in a t-shirt while I did some other stuff. And yeah, I sat down to do my hair and I figured, let's record. So first thing I'm gonna do is deep condition. I'm gonna use the Earthborn Organics Cocoa Butter Conditioner. My hair is kind of dry, and on the directions it says apply to wet strands. So I'm gonna have to wet my hair back down. I thought I saw a bug. The way that I detangle is that I take, let me turn to the side so I can show y'all. I take one finger through my hair, and as soon as I feel some resistance, I stop, and then I work it apart. If I feel like right here it's not coming apart, that means I have a knot in there. I'm gonna stop and isolate that knot out, and then I'm going to give it some extra attention and put some more product if I need to, some more water. If it's a knot that's not gonna come out, I'm gonna work it out as much as I can by working out each strand. And then whatever I can't work out, I'm going to cut it off. And it's looking like this one is gonna need to be cut, unfortunately. Let me put some more conditioner on it. See if God can work a miracle. Child, I'm gonna have to cut it. Oh, you need to cut it. I've worked it down to like, there's a few more strands you can see in there, and I'm just pulling out the ones that'll come out on their own. Damn, that's a lot of hair. So this is what I ended up having to cut off right there. It happens. You just lost one. And the reason why I cut the ones, if there's a knot in there, the reason why I just cut it, it helps me avoid split ends. If I just rip it, you have split ends. And this is why I really wanted to do a twist out. I'm thinking about putting my hair into twists, and then whenever I need to record a video or something like that, then I'll take the twist out and rock my twist out and then restyle my hair. But being that I ran out of time and I have something to do tomorrow, this is gonna be my last wash and go for a while. Unless I'm doing a product review on a gel or something like that and how it works on a wash and go. But yeah, I think I'm going to keep my hair twisted up because I'm getting too much tangles and knots and stuff like that from my hair being in a wash and go. Alright, so I just resprayed the hair with water after I finished finger detangling. But yeah, now I'm going to go in with my comb. And this is a wide tooth comb to me. Like, I know some people might say that the teeth are a little bit too small, but I don't think so. This is a wide tooth comb to me. The other ones that be like super spaced out, that ain't finna do nothing. And I just had to stop using those because I'm like, this ain't doing nothing, like, at all. But this one, I just start at the ends and I work it down. If I feel any resistance, I just pull it back out. The other thing that I used to use was like one of those brushes that had the teeth that like stretch as you're going. And I'm not really a fan of those anymore. I feel like they do more pulling. And since it does stretch, you can't really feel, like, you can't feel how much resistance is happening as you're combing. Like with this, I could tell how much resistance there is and if I need to stop or not and work out any big knots. So yeah, this comb, wide tooth comb, works good for me. is wide tooth to me. All right, so this is just completely detangled. And we hit a few knots in the back, which is normal for me in this area because, you know, that kitchen, you know, that's the part that rubs up the most on your shirt and all that kind of stuff. So that's why I'm prone to getting bigger tangles and knots. So now that that is fully detangled, I'm going to go ahead and twist that up and move on to the next section. Okay. So now that we're moving on to the next section, and I have already told you guys how I detangle and you know what I'm doing, let's go ahead and just chop it up a little bit. Ain't no need of me continuing to explain the same thing over and over. Y'all know what I'm doing. I'm finger detangling, and then I'm going through with my comb to fully detangle. What have y'all been up to during this quarantine? And have y'all felt like y'all have been able, like, has this situation helped y'all be more productive? Or have you been just trying to get by? And either one is fine. I feel like I'm a mixture of both. Some days I'm super productive. I have all these ideas and stuff like that I want to do. And then other days I'm literally just barely making it. I feel like it's hard to get your creative juices flowing when you're stuck in the house. You know what I mean? You're not having no interaction really with other people. And I say really because, I mean, yeah, you're still interacting with people on Facebook and stuff like that, and social media, Zoom and things like that, but it's just not the same. And as much as people say, oh, I'm an introvert, I'm this, I'm that, you still, you know, you still want to go out sometimes. Like, I miss saying no. I see a lot of people that's like, you know what, when this is over, ask me to go wherever, and I'm gonna say yeah now. Y'all just talking. I don't believe y'all. I ain't even gonna tell that lie. I mean, I feel like, yes, this is going to definitely, you know, make me look at things different and not take those opportunities for granted. But I ain't gonna just straight up lie and act like I'm finna start coming to everything, because I ain't. That's just the honest truth. But yeah, how are y'all coping? Because it's hard for me to want to get on camera and record, because it's kind of like, you gotta feel like it's more important things going on in the world than my hair. I don't know. Maybe I just be overthinking stuff. I don't like those people that be on the internet that be super serious all the time. Like, it's children starving in Africa. Like, you know, that's very important. You know what I mean? Flint ain't got no water. It's, you know, it's a lot of different stuff going on in the world. But I feel like that's why we come to the internet. That's why we get on the internet. We watch YouTube videos, because it's a time to escape. You do have to have that time to decompress. So that's why I definitely want to get back into the videos. I'm excited about the podcast because I feel like it's going to give me an avenue to be able to not necessarily think about all of the negative things or wonder what if with the future, and just be in the right now and allow myself to enjoy something, basically. It is nappy right here, child. Woo. Are you serious? Why does that always happen to me? I knew that twist seemed too thin and was missing some hair. Child, this is ridiculous. All right, let me let this section down and we can get back to what we was talking about, okay? All right, so we talked about what we've been doing during this quarantine. What I haven't been doing is recording videos, obviously. I mean, I feel like I've recorded some videos, but it just didn't come out how I wanted it to. You know, I had a certain idea of what I wanted to do in the video, and I'm bad about that. Like, if it don't come out exactly how I want it, or my idea isn't what I thought it was gonna be, then I just be having all these footages that just sit there because, all right, I had to reset my camera up because it died and it was some drama. But anyways, what was I saying? I have been recording videos. I've been way too critical of myself, which is normal for me. But I don't know, I feel like a lot of people be like, oh, I'm a perfectionist, as if that's like really like a good thing. Like, yes, I do. I feel like there's a difference between being a perfectionist and having pride in your work. And I feel like that's what people mean to say when they say I'm a perfectionist. As in, what I put out there and put my name on, I want it to be quality. Now, that's different than saying I'm a perfectionist, because when you're saying that, that is a whole nother level of not accepting anything short of perfection. And we all know that perfection is not attainable. It's not a realistic goal to set for yourself. It's one thing to be a high achiever and to set high standards, but someone that's a high achiever is going to be able to accept that things may not be perfect. If they can, put out a quality product and it's not 100% perfect, they can still be able to accept that it's still great. Like, things get better over time, and they understand that, and they're able to actually put things out. I feel like when people are perfectionists, sometimes they end up not even putting anything out at all, and you don't grow that way. To just take a project and just say, it ain't perfect, I'm not going to do it at all, it leaves no room for growth, and you end up doing nothing at all, and all of your dope talents and things that you have to offer never see the light of day because you're too busy trying to make it perfect on the first go round instead of making it great and then continuing to let it get greater. Basically, saying all that to say, that has been what has been holding me back during this quarantine, is just being super critical of myself in those perfectionist ways that I'm trying to get out of. I'm definitely not going to lower my standards, but I'm not going to let that stop me from starting or actually following through with things and seeing it all the way to the end, even though it may not be perfect, and learning more how to roll with the punches and adjust. Because I know sometimes I'll have a certain vision for something, and if it's not coming out like that, I'm going to stop. Okay, so what I have been working on. Now, I have been working on my podcast. A lot of y'all saw the announcement that we're going to be dropping our first episode here right at Memorial Day weekend. This has been a long time coming. This is something that started out as an idea, and we did take the time to invest in equipment and making sure that everything was going to be how it needed to be. This is something I've talked about doing, or I won't even say I talked about doing, but other people talked about doing. People will be like, oh yeah, we should do a podcast. That would be so dope. But, nothing ever really came of it. I know when my homeboy, Rob, came to me with the idea, if y'all know me and y'all know how I am, my first mind is just to always say no. And it's honestly just because I know how I am. I know how I've been with my own content, and I didn't want to get in a situation to where people were depending on me, and then, I flake or I don't come through, or like, that's a really big fear of mine. I feel like the things that I do are dope. I feel like I'm good at a lot of different things. I have a lot of different things to offer, but my thing is just being able to maintain that dopeness. Do I feel like my platform has the potential to pop? I do. But then what happens once it starts popping? That's more responsibility. I feel like that's kind of how I look at it. Like, when you're not popping, or like, when you're dope, but you're not, necessarily known and not popping, it's easy to kind of just fade to the background for a little bit, pop out like, hey, don't forget I'm dope over here. And it's easy to do that, but when you popping, you got to be on your game. You know what I mean? You got to be consistent. You got to be, especially when other people are depending on you. So of course my first mind was like, no, I don't know if I want that pressure of having to work with other people. You know what I mean? When I'm working by myself, I could flake out on myself. I would never let myself flake out on other people. So my first mind was like, nah, but then I was like, stop doing that. Like, you have no reason to not at least go sit down and meet with them and see, what's up, what ideas they got, bounce some ideas off of each other and see how the chemistry is. And I literally met up with them. It was just instant chemistry. It was instant debate and argument as soon as I walked through the door. Like, immediately it was like, it just flowed. And not only did it flow, but also we were on the same page with a lot of things as far as like our expectations of the quality and, you know, how we wanted to go about the business aspect of it. All of that just flowed as well. So it was like, okay, I'm really glad that I actually sat down and did that meeting and didn't just say no just based off, you know, that fear. What is this? You know what I mean? Just saying no for no reason at all, basically. Now here we are, months and months later. We started talking about this over the holidays and then thought that, you know, the new year was gonna just hit the ground running. And 2020 was like, y'all know how it's been. We finally just, you know, decided, you know what, we gonna do this. We gonna go ahead and pull the trigger, and we are recording. And it's gonna be dope. Like, I can't even express, like, I'm so excited about this project. And I feel like, honestly, this project and working with them has really pushed me to get all my stuff as far as my own personal channel and some of the other, like, I have other projects other than this channel that I don't discuss. And I posted on social media about why I don't really share my business. And it's not necessarily because I'm a secretive type person. It's just that I've had experiences with telling people things and stuff like that, and not being, you know, because, you know, you're not sure about things sometimes. You just want to bounce your idea off somebody, and, you know, you don't always get the response that you think you're going to get. And that can be very discouraging a lot of the time. Not saying that you don't want people to keep it real with you or be honest or upfront, but I feel like a lot of times it's not even necessarily people not giving you constructive criticism or anything like that. I feel like it's people just literally speaking fear over the things that you bring up that you want to do. Like, you know what I mean? When people are like, well, what about this? Well, what about that? Well, why would you want to do that? You know what I mean? That, to me, that's not constructive criticism about the actual idea. It's just, you know the energy. You know the energy when you tell people stuff, and sometimes I'm already critical of myself enough, and I don't, why am I still coming the same section? It is done. Anyways, I'm already critical of myself enough. I need to work through my ideas on my own. I always can go to my husband. Oh Lord, hold on. Let me leave another piece out. I could always go to my husband, and, you know, that's just 100. I could go to my husband with any idea, and we gonna work through it. Work through the pros and the cons. You know what I mean? That's the kind of thing that you do. You don't just automatically shoot something down or start to speak fear or why it ain't gonna work. To me, that's not really somebody that's really trying to be constructive. That's not what they would do. So that's why I have been playing a lot of my ideas close to the chest, because I don't need that doubt in my mind. A lot of times, the people closest to you, even though they love you, they can't help but to speak from their own experience, because, I mean, that's what we do as human beings. And a lot of times they project their fears into things like, you know, they would never take that kind of chance. So, you know, they're going to advise you not to take that kind of chance. They're speaking from their own experience, their own fear. You have to take people's opinions and really understand where they're coming from. A lot of times, too, you know, you got to look at generational differences, you know, how old they are, how they were raised, how, you know what I mean? There's different things that you have to take into consideration when you get advice from people, even your closest friends. And I feel like people that are mature and actually are supportive of other people and their ideas, they'll be able, I know I can say that. And I say that a lot of time. When my friends come to me and they ask me for advice, I keep it real. I'm like, I've never experienced that, so I can only speak from what I know. You're going somewhere that I've never been before. You're trying to do something that I've never done before. I can only give you so much, you know what I mean, from my perspective, from my experience and stuff like that. But a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people won't have that experience and will still try to give you advice like they are, you know, a master at. Like, you don't even know. It's like I feel like people be thinking they know everything and they really don't. And they think they can predict outcomes of things that they've never tried. And that just amazes me a lot of the time. But I'm ranting. I don't even know what I was talking about. I was talking about the podcast. And I was talking about the other endeavors that I have going on. The podcast has really pushed me to really just buckle down on those different things. I'm like, if I could be consistent, if I could do this consistently, then I could be doing all of the other things that I want to do consistently. And I definitely am that person that is not going to be the one person in a group project that ain't pulling their weight. Like, I just refuse to do that. It's also gonna help me with my hair videos, just because I'm not about to be going on camera looking a fool. My hair gotta be done. So I figure we are gonna be recording every 2 weeks for sure. So I know that's for sure, every 2 weeks, a video that I could record doing my hair. The only thing about that is like right now, I don't want to try new products because I don't want to be looking a fool. So I don't really want to take that chance of trying something and it comes out trash, and then I gotta go on camera tomorrow and I gotta try to save it. So yeah, that's gonna be a struggle. If y'all see me on the pod with a bun, just know I tried some new products and it did not work out. What else did I want to talk about? I think that's it. I really don't have nothing else to talk about. And I feel like I've been talking for so long that editing this video is going to be so hard, because I'm going to be like, dang, what do I want to cut out and what do I want to keep? I'm going to finish this. I'm going to do me a wash and go. If y'all want to see the style video, I guess I'll record me doing the style video. I'm going to use products I already use, so it's not like, I don't know. That's why I feel like I shouldn't even record it, because I'm going to use stuff I've already used before, and that ain't really going to help y'all. If y'all want to see it, comment down below and let me know. I'm going to stop talking and finish detangling this hair.